Hello and welcome to another video. Sorry it's been so long time since last time, but I got a few emails on Facebook because I'm running a setup similar to another guy, and he had some problems in setting it up. It's about the homing procedure while having an ESS smooth stepper. And to give you an idea of that, I will try to make a video on how I did it. So I'll just try to take off the camera. So an ESS smooth stepper is a motion controller, and it's I placed mine down here. Let's see if we can focus. So what it is, it's a separate board instead of the parallel port. So it has an Ethernet connection that goes from the computer that I got over here, and it has 3 output ports, 1, 2 and 3, power connector. And what that does is that it well, with this cable it connects up to my breakout boards that I got here. Breakout board 1 and breakout board 2 over here. So this one down here, it's not a parallel port. It's an you could say it's much more advanced than that, but it the pin outputs is organized in such way so it resembles a parallel port. It's much better, much faster, more reliable. So I simply just took out my parallel port cable from my PC in both cases and connected it to the ESS smooth stepper and did the the startup routine. I will not cover how to set it up in this video. So another thing was noise. He asked about and what kind of sensoring system I use. I have oh, now I triggered it. I got my sensor here. It's an Omron TL. Oh, I need to stop this annoyingly. It's an Omron TL W3 MC2. I'll put it in the note. My sensor setup uses 12 volt DC, but my breakout board is only 5 volt DC. So I created a small interface with optocouplers 4N25, so that separates the inputs that I got over here to the output to the breakout boards. So these red wires here goes to the, perhaps you can see them up there, goes up to the inputs of the breakout boards in both cases. So once I activate, I can try to do that. One of my inputs, you can see it turns off and on depending if it's triggered or not. I need to reset it again like that. So that's about my switches and about my homing. I'm running 2 axes. Perhaps you can see them. I got a Y and a B axis as slave. So this is on the left hand side I got my Y, right hand side I got my slave B axis. So we need to set it up so it will square up my gantry. You can see the gantry here, it's quite wide, 1000 millimeters or so. So I'll try to go through the settings, if we can see it here. So the you can again, I assume you got it all set up correctly. We have this plug-in control where you can set up the configuration of it. There's some homing configuration which I'm not using. And otherwise everything else normally is controlled over here. So I just want to go through some of the things.
So in the general configuration page I have set the home slave with master access, that is off, and I don't have any debounce intervals. It's set to 0 because it's I got it down to 0. Try to not use this one if you can, otherwise rewire your machine, it's much better. And I need to check that I'm using the B axis as a linear axis, so this one has to be unchecked. So if it's checked, my A axis that I'm preparing for is an angular one as a rotating device. So uncheck this one. And I think that is more or less it on the General Logic configuration screen. Okay. Then we got the ports and pins. Where did that go? Yeah. So I got 2 ports, so the other one is enabled. These port addresses not relevant anymore. Those were from the parallel port. The kernel speed and stuff like that is all controlled from the ESS motion controller now. So the input signals, you need to set up a Y homing signal. So this one is enabled. Port 1, pin 11 as the input. And my system is running as an active low setup. And this one is the same as the Y --, so this is a limit switch trigger, so it uses the same sensor for that. So Y homing, and I need to set up my B axis. So B home active, port 1, pin 13. So you need to verify this with your own setup, what kind of inputs you use. Alright, perhaps motor outputs. Yeah, that of course also had to be set up as a B axis, step and pin direction, etc, etc. Oh, now it triggered the stop. That's fine. Slave axis. So here my Y axis, which is my primary axis, will be slaved with the B axis. So this is where you set this over. And there's no slaved X and no slaved Z axis. So this is just okay. And you need to close down and restart the Mark III after this. Alright. So motor tuning also needs to be verified. So I'm using the Y and the B axis. So those velocities, accelerations, I'm using the same micro stepping, I use the same spindles, I use everything same on both axes. So everything has to be the same here. If they are not, then the B and Y axis will not home at the same speed. I tried to do that. So make sure that your slave axis has the same values for everything. So far so good. So on the plug-in control you'll be able to see what the ESS has to offer. So I thought I needed to check the homing configuration here and set it up here, but actually it's not needed for my setup at least. So everything here is just 0 and not enabled, so unchecked, like this. Okay, and data monitoring. Here you can actually see the raw data. So my port 1 and my inputs 11 and 13 I believe are my inputs for my Y and B axis limit switches. So here you can see 13 went low while I was activating it, and I can try my Y axis also. Let me see, I got it here. Yeah, so that's also good. So it's a kind of diagnostic page where you can see everything set up in. Yeah, so here you can verify that your switch setup is okay. You can also do it on the diagnostics page of Mach. I'm using a different screen set, but don't be fooled by that. So M, X, Y, so M2 and M5 will be the motor 2 and motor 5, so that will be Y and B axis limit switches. So now I activated the B, and I can activate the Y. Yeah, so this is also good. Same. Reset. Like that. Then in the plug-in control window of the configuration, there's also a homing setting here at the bottom saying support multi-axis, but G28.1 will not work right. So yeah, I just found out that single axis at a time works in my setup, so I checked this one. And again, back to the noise and filtering, I don't need those, so those are all zeros. Here you can say that a signal must be high or low, or should we say present, at a certain amount of microseconds before activating the whatever function you need, e-stop or limit switch or whatever, in microseconds. But since I got my new switches and this opto isolating circuit, it's never been needed. So 0 all the way. The rest is just simple setup. Like I said, I won't really go into this. So okay. I'm trying to see if I got everything good here. So it should simply just be saying ref all home, and then it should reference all my axes. First it will take the Z, then it will take my Y and B slave at the same time. First B and then Y and B at the same time, and then X. Let's see if we can get it to work. Like that. Yeah, so now both my X and my Y and B axis were almost at the homing position, so they rarely moved. So I'll see if we can get a shot of it where we can see both motors. So these are my dampers, the blue ones. So I'll try to move it a little bit. Then I'll try to force it out of sync deliberately. So now reset it and move one of the axes far out of squaring up the gantry. Resetted it, so now the motors are active again. I can't move them. So they're locked in now. And then I'll try to reset it. And then you should be able to see that the Z-axis goes up, homes, and then the Y-axis will reference first. And then the second one, the B slave axis, will reference as soon as it gets into the switch. Let's try it. And that's it. So I hope you got something out of this very fast video. Otherwise, please write your comments. Perhaps I should show this button here also. Somebody said something about what is the code on this button, so we can look what it actually does. If we run the Mach screen and we take image button, so here we'll be able to see when I activate this button, it will do execute code. And it will say do button 24, 23, 22, 25. These are the OEM codes for reference the axes. And this is, yeah, I didn't change anything on that. So I'll just close it and close as well. So back to my screen. So once I click this one, it will reference the axes. That's it. Yeah, so one last thing was repeatability of the switches that I'm using. And right now, let's see if I can manage to get it over. I tried to set up a dial gauge on my axis here. On my, that's a rather lousy shot, but hopefully you can see it still. I'll try to, you see it's +1/100th of a millimeter on my y-axis. I'll just try to reference it again. It backs off and back again to, so that was 1/100th of a millimeter change. Try it again. Yeah, so that's, is that spot on? -1/100th? Yeah, so I would say fairly around 1/100th of a millimeter, which is well within my limits. It's not a very rigid machine I'm having, so if I try to push it, yeah, you can see that I'm not using so much force. It moves 2, 3, 4, 5/100ths of a millimeter. So this is well within my capabilities of the machine. Alright, coming back to the screen. Yeah, I hope you liked the video, and again, if you have any comments to the setup or have any questions around the ESS setup with the homing, please write comments or write me an email. Please like and subscribe if you like this one. Thank you for watching, and I hope we'll sort it out for you. Thank you. Bye.